in the courtroom at this time?
Yes, I do.
And can you please describe an article of clothing that he is wearing?
Mr. Simpson is sitting at defendant table marked on Zoom as SCA 1A defendant in shorthand. He's wearing a dark blue shirt over a gray long sleeve shirt. He's a light-skinned black male, small afro with a black mask under his chin.
May the court recognize he has positively identified the defendant, and he also used our live Zoom in one of the in picture videos to do that.
Okay, noted.
Were you post certified during this investigation?
Yes, I was.
No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Cross.
Officer, I missed it. What was your name again?
Detective Marking Solution.
All right, and you were first alerted through a 911 call?
I was first alerted by the officers. I don't know if it was a 911 call or if Miss Corley ran into them, but they were the ones who alerted me about the robbery.
Do you know the names of those officers?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Did the other officers, were they the first to speak with Miss Corley?
Yes.
All right. And about what time do you know that they spoke with Miss Corley?
Approximately 10:26 a.m.
And was that interview conducted on body cam?
I would assume so.
All right, but you haven't seen that first body cam interaction. All right. You then pulled up to the location behind those officers?
Yes.
All right, and you spoke with Ms. Corley yourself?
Yes.
All right, about what time did you arrive?
I'm not exactly sure about what time I arrived. I don't have that written down anymore.
Also, at first you mentioned 3311 Empire Boulevard as a part of a location that was mentioned.
That was where the officers were dispatched to, or where they encountered Miss Corley. It's not that far from the incident location.
All right. So 3311 Empire Boulevard, maybe about around the corner from Roselle Drive?
You could say that.
Okay. The incident location itself, that was 152 Roselle Drive, is that correct?
That's correct.
Do you know if anyone resides there?
According to Miss Corley, it appeared to be abandoned. When I went there later, I confirmed that it was abandoned. It appears that some of the windows are broken out. There's some kind of construction work being done there, so it doesn't appear that anyone actually lives there.
All right, and there was a residential camera that caught this interaction, you said, right?
Correct.
Do you know the owner of that camera?
I'm gonna try to look at my warrant and see if I wrote that.
Sure.
No, I don't think I got the resident's name, but I know it was across from 152 Roosevelt Drive.
All right, and I'm guessing you don't happen to know the exact address either.
I don't. Sorry.
All right. Were you able to still view that camera footage?
I was.
All right. Do you know if you were able to, I guess, pull that camera footage and place it in an evidence packet for this case?
I did.
All right. In that camera footage, were you able to see well, let's go through the camera footage, I guess. Did Miss Corley, was she at that location first?
What do you mean?
At 152 Roosevelt Drive, was she already waiting for somebody to arrive there?
No. Miss Corley was driving up and down Roosevelt Drive.
Okay. In that footage, did you see her get out of the car?
Yes.
Okay. When she got out of the car, was she essentially in the driveway of 152 Roosevelt Drive?
Yes.
All right. And afterwards, about how long before anyone else pulled into that location?
Like another vehicle or?
Another vehicle, another person?
So Miss Corley pulls into the driveway, and I believe at that time there's already someone standing somewhere near the home.
Okay. So there was already someone there. Do you know if there was another car that was there?
No.
As in there just wasn't another car?
Yeah. There was not another car there.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, it was a confusing question. All right. In that video footage, are you able to see a firearm?
I can't tell if I can't see a firearm in that video. It's kind of far away.
Could you tell if there was any sort of, just conversation that happened before anyone pulled out of the location?
It appears so, because initially the victim, Miss Corley, appears to be getting out the car and walking towards like the door of the residence, and that's when she's attacked.
All right. And about how long was Miss Corley talking with the other people in the video?
Assuming that she's talking as she's walking, it seems a couple of seconds.
Okay, so just a couple of seconds before she's attacked.
Yes.
All right. So there were two other people there, right? Mr. Simpson and a masked man, allegedly.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where the masked man was positioned in that driveway?
Not exactly. According to Miss Corley, the way Miss Corley frames it is that Mr. Simpson, the person that she knows as Ron, is in the driveway, and then the masked man comes from inside the residence.
All right. All right, and Miss Corley was driving a Chevrolet Cruze, is that right?
Yes.
And did Miss Did you see keys being transferred between Miss Corley and either Miss Simpson or Mr. Simpson and the masked person?
No, it's a little too far away. You can just kind of see the attack happening.
All right. Moving on, later on, that vehicle was recovered on, geez, I lost the address. I think it's Mount Zion Road. Is that right?
Yes, 50 Mount Zion Road, Southeast.
When the vehicle was first observed there, was anybody else around?
No,
50 Mount Zion Road, is that a residential address as well?
yes, it's an apartment complex.
Do you know if anyone involved in this case happens to live at 50 Mount Zion Road?
I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I believe, no. Neither Lorenzo Turner nor Tariq Simpson live at 50 Mount Zion Road.
All right. So the car was first recovered there. And then I think it was essentially driven off again from 50 Mount Zion.
Correct.
Okay. When the car was first recovered, was there any officer that stayed by the vehicle?
Initially, the same officers that responded to the initial incident found the vehicle and stayed with the vehicle. Crime scene then came out and processed the vehicle. Those officers then left. Afterward, I spoke to Miss Corley, who said that she would get her own private tow and felt comfortable in just waiting for her private tow. It was Miss Corley and her friend.
Okay. So the vehicle, officers found the vehicle, processed it, and left before towing came?
Yes, because the officers weren't waiting for a city tow driver. They said that they were getting their own private tow.
Okay, so Miss Corley was there waiting with the vehicle.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and then at some time after that, the vehicle was driven off again.
Yes. So as Miss Corley is waiting for her private tow to arrive, suspects come, get back into the vehicle, and drive off.
Did Miss Corley give a statement about what happened at 50 Mount Zion?
Yeah, she stated that while she was waiting for the private tow, the suspects, two suspects, got back into the vehicle and drove off with her vehicle. She then tried to follow that vehicle out. Keep in mind that she's with her friend who's in a different vehicle.
All right, were you in pursuit of that vehicle afterwards?
No.
Do you know the officers who were in pursuit of that vehicle?
No.
All right, and you don't know who stopped the vehicle, right?
No.
Mhm. One moment. Thank you, Detective.
Any other questions?
No follow-up questions for the detective. I'll ask that he be allowed
All right.
to leave, Your Honor.
Thank you, Detective. Stay safe.
Thank you.
And thank you for your patience. All right, go ahead with argument.
I'll defer to the defense.
Go ahead, Mr. Rhodes.
Gotta get back up here.
Your Honor, I ask that the court not find probable cause on the fleeing or attempting to elude charge, as well as the failure to obey traffic sign and the improper lane change charges. There's been no testimony that came out about essentially anything regarding those three charges. In fact, the officer said that he just didn't know, and that there were other officers that would maybe know, and those officers haven't been subpoenaed today. They're not here, and there's nobody that's able to testify to either or any of those charges. I would further argue, even with the fleeing or attempting to elude charge, it is charged as a felony. Felony fleeing requires, proof that the pursuit involved speed excess of 20 miles per hour, or a vehicle striking another vehicle or pedestrian, fleeing in traffic conditions that place the general public at risk of receiving serious injuries, any sort of drug impairment, or leaving the state. And that is spelled out in OCGA 6-15. Well, no, wait, no. 40s-6-395. So, for those two reasons, I don't believe that there's no probable cause for a fleeing charge, as well as the other traffic-related charges. But we would submit on the testimony for the remaining charges.
Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. The officer did testify that he did inform the three officers. He did go ahead and state that after they were there for 15 minutes, he was able to testify that the blue lights were on. They did go ahead and pursue the vehicle at his direction, Your Honor. That they did put the general public at risk because of the actions by not stopping. He was able to go ahead and say that it was a marked vehicle. The lights were on. They did give proper instructions. He also was able to say that the officers were able to determine that the driver did not have a valid license. And with his testimony of fleeing, he was able to go ahead and say that he did flee. So that does cover the failure to obey traffic signals or light, and also driving improper, because as they are fleeing, they are not paying attention to the proper rules while driving on the highway, Your Honor. It's such a fine probable cause for all charges before the court.
Anything else?
I mean, I would just say that the ADA just said stuff that wasn't put into evidence.
Okay, so I'll find probable cause on armed robbery, hijacking motor vehicle, ag assault, possession of a firearm, driving without a valid license, and fleeing and attempting to elude. I think it didn't say the speed, so that's going to be a misdemeanor. The fleeing and attempting to elude is a misdemeanor, and the driving without a valid license, not probable cause on failure to obey traffic signal or light, or improper erratic lane change. So that doesn't mean they can't indict you on that, just so you know. He had a $75,750 good bond as of April the 13th, but I'll go ahead and hear it so we can get out of here.
The defendant does not have any prior arrests on file, Your Honor. Nothing in addition.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Judge. I'd emphasize as well, this is his first arrest. Mr. Simpson is 19 years old. He's a lifelong Georgia resident. He lives at the address on file with his mother, sister, nephew, and niece. He's been living there for the past 4 years. I have been in contact with his mother, who would as well emphasize that Mr. Simpson is a good kid. He would, of course, still be able to stay there should he be released. But in general, Judge.
Is that Locust Grove? Is that Locust Grove?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Same address on file. He graduated from Henry County High School and was doing warehouse work when he was arrested through Bed Bath & Beyond. He'd been working there 3 or 4 months and thinks he'd be able to return should he be released. So Judge, we are asking for a reasonable bond to be set. Mr. Simpson and his family, again, I've spoken with his mother, they're not able to afford much for bond. I would ask that bond be set at no higher than $15,000 in total.
Mr. McCauley?
Yes, Your Honor. This is luring somebody into an area, putting a gun towards their face, and then threatening them, and then taking their vehicle, Your Honor. And then they follow up with that as they are waiting. Now, when they probably pay the additional cost for the city tow, they wanted a private tow, Your Honor. They returned to the vehicle and took it again, allegedly, Your Honor. We are concerned for the public safety. We are concerned for the intimidation of witnesses, Your Honor. We are also concerned in regards to the defendant committing additional felonies. I understand that he did not have anything on his record as of right now. However, he is alleged to do this and actually return it to the scene. That is the concerns that the state have, and we will defer to the court in regards to the amount of bond, Your Honor.
All right. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from 152 Roselle Drive Southeast. Stay away from 3311 Empire Boulevard Southwest. No further contact with Quincy Corley, Corley. No driving unless you have a valid license, insurance, and registration. You're going to have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, and employment, as long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, schedule, and the exact location you're going to be working. Stay out of Fulton County unless you're here for court or to see your lawyer. Absolutely no reason to come to Fulton County. Court, see your lawyer. Fill up with gas in Henry County. You're not going to be driving unless you have a valid license. So get a ride, throw a snack in the car. Don't stop. Don't get a flat tire. Don't get gas. Don't get snacks. Don't get lunch. No further contact with, I didn't hear about, but alleged co-defendant, Larenzo, last name Turner, Turner. So I'll do 15,000, 15,000, 15,000, 5,000, and 1,500. 15,000, 15,000, 15,000, 5,000, and 1,500, and then 100 on driving without a valid license. Got that, Ms. Fisher?
No.
Did you say no?
Like you said, no.
I can't hear you. Did you say no?
No, I didn't.
What part didn't you get?
I got 15, 15, 15, 5.
1,500 on fleeing, attempting to elude, and 100 on driving without a valid license. 15, 15, 15, 5,000, 1,500, and then 100 on driving without a valid license.
Thank you.
All right. Looks like that's it. Best of luck to you, sir. Ankle monitor will be paid for by the county.